Questions? Question to Dr. Sinha. Do we have a protective proof of protective effect of statins in the 65 plus? Any multi-analysis, meta-analysis in the radio we do have for hypertension? Now,
Sir, there are subgroup analysis of octogenarians, those undergoing any sort of ordinary procedure or even bypass surgery. Even statin loading is now recommended before bypass surgery for prevention of atrial fibrillation, etc. And there is a definite benefit of the statins even in 80 plus people. Definite mortality benefit. We have data. Above 80 with diabetics, I am not sure, because this is a diabetes meeting, but above 80, yes, we have analysis.
This is the question from Dr. Mishra. The data which showed that the slide that to investigate people with testosterone for their possible testosterone deficiency diagnosis. Now, what my understanding is that this is vascular and anyone who has either vascular pathogen may have diabetes. The other thing is that they are obese too, and they may have testosterone. So how do we decide about treating them based on the values and whether we need to treat them to investigate in the first place?
Your question is, who should be treated for testosterone deficiency?
There are two parts. One is that why we need that, because we are the second largest nation in the population numbers, and we still find it very hard to discuss the sexual dysfunction related issue, not only in diabetes but any other like hypertension they may have something like that. And I don't think that we routinely ask this question, but most of us. So whether the clinical indication is probably cheaper and might be better, and whether by just getting the lower testosterone value we get distracted with the numbers.
No, I'm not saying that you should treat just the numbers. If a patient is having problems like loss of libido, erectile dysfunction, generally fatigue patient, low energy levels, if his life is affected, then low testosterone would mean that it should be corrected. And why testosterone levels are low in people? It's an aging phenomenon. Testicles work less efficiently. But in many studies they did LHFSH also, and they showed that LHFSH is also not high. So it's not a primarily testicular failure giving rise to a hypergonadotrophic hypogonadism type of picture. Here is a general slowing of everything. Pituitary is also working less efficiently, producing less LH and FSH. Testicles are also working less efficiently, producing less testosterone. It's a gradual process. It's not like menopause in females where the hormonal lowering is acute. It's a slow, gradual process. But yes, in some people, life is affected because of this. In those people, it should be treated when the symptoms are coupled with low testosterone. In obese, it is more common and more severe. So they definitely benefit by testosterone therapy. I mean, the quality of life improves, the symptoms improve. So that's what we are doing for our patients.
Can I request Dr. Bajaj to tell her perspective on the same?
Yes, you mean debatable in the sense that what Dr. Mishra has just highlighted. There is a ready checklist of questions which suggest that there is clinically low testosterone. We've already given you those questions. If the patient has those symptoms and then we do a testosterone level, it should be preferably a free testosterone level, not a total testosterone. And if that is found to be low, again, like testosterone testing per se, you have to be very standard laboratory, and we don't even have any established norms for our laboratories. There are a lot of issues related to that. But if it's a standard laboratory, the checklist of questions, yes, the patient has symptoms which are suggestive of deficiency with low free testosterone. Yes, you should replace. At least replace for 6 months. The patient improves and continue. Otherwise, you can withdraw. So I think that is the best way of doing it. And I think that answers your question.
So one last question, Dr. Mishra, one question for you. Do you think vitamin D3 patients should be advised on each and every substance nowadays in diabetes?
Almost we are reaching that situation. You see, vitamin D test is an expensive test. In Delhi, where I work, it costs something around 1800 rupees for 125 hours vitamin D test. In about 80 to 90% of our patients in whom we conduct the test, it is low. Then we give a weekly sachet of 60,000 units of vitamin D for up to 12 to 16 weeks, and then make it once in a month. Now, even if you give this dose to a person who is seemingly normal with vitamin D, it doesn't become toxic. So, ultimately, what I have seen is that giving the vitamin D sachet without test is more cost effective, never causes a problem. So, in my practice, now I have started doing it to give it to all my patients, irrespective of their levels.
Dr. Bajaj, Dr. Sajna Bajaj.
Find some benefit out of it?
Actually, the benefits are not very well perceived. They are not discernible. I mean, the patient will not say that after taking the pouches, in my life,
It's a very controversial issue. It's
Very
more of
very
commerce
controversial.
rather than science. And what we should go is with science only. There should be evidence that yes, deficiencies, agree, it is there. But does the supplementation improve physiological outcome out of it? You get some benefit out of it in terms of lower metabolic incidence of metabolic syndrome or the diabetes, better control or chronic.
let us be fair. Let us be fair. There are evidences that insulin sensitivity improves, beta cell function improves, diabetes improves, blood sugar improves. There are evidences. You see, the problem is that when the patient takes these pouches, his quality of life never improves. And the same thing is true about statins. If you give a statin to a person who has got an LDL of 180 and bring it down to 70, will he experience the benefit or not? So if
But there are definite mortality benefits.
Yeah.
We are talking about different things.
so
There is a huge benefit.
Huge mortality benefit.
Statin and vitamin D.
if not huge, there are small benefits which can actually be also.
Dr. Sajna Bajaj, there is one general question for this house, please.
Yes, please.
You have very rightly pointed out that we are sitting on a volcano for diabetes and it begins at school level. We are having such a great talk about this heterostatin and insulin and glargine. Are we having any talk on prevention of diabetes? Are any of these pharmaceutical industries in India interested in how should we prevent and what should we do to prevent this epidemic? My suggestion, like we write on a cigarette packing, smoking is injurious to health. Smoking
There
is
is a talk on pre-diabetes and how to prevent it. Wait for some time, it will be there.
okay.
One thing I wanted to add what Dr. Sajna Bajaj has said. It was a beautiful lecture, very good pictures, very good animations. But probably the science part was a little less. It was more of social rather than the science. We
We should have more topics on prevention of diabetes rather than treating it.
We do have those individuals who are obese still fit. There is something called as fit fats. So we need to focus on that also. And there are benefits of obesity shown in the elderly age group. Those people who are underweight or lean in older age group are not better off, even diabetics. They are worse off. So probably that things need to be taken in.
Thank
you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
For a debate, which one would say the advantages and disadvantages, but there's absolutely no benefit of obesity. I'm absolutely sure about that, even in the elderly populations. And I have enough science. I have given my data, and I've shown the Framingham data. I showed a lot of data. I showed India data. I've try to focus majorly on India data. Of course, this is a very good debate. And I am willing to share the podium with you, Dr. Tripathi, regarding the debate on message.
Sir, we have a debate session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
So can you please, I hope the House will forgive me for Dr. Nakul Sinha's comment that we should eat less. In fact, doctors always want more patients. So I want you to continue eating. Please don't take it the other way around. It's just that it's every man or woman for himself or herself. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Tripathi, for your very wonderful comments.
मैडम आपने इधर की वाली पिक्स दिखा दी है, इसके बाद कोई खाएगा नहीं.
My patients curse me always. Now I'm sure you will also curse me, but that's part of the deal.
Thank you, ma'am. लोग समझ जाएंगे, उन्हीं के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ कि अब इनके सब्र का और इम्तिहान लो. अब इनके सब्र का और इम्तिहान लो. चले भी आओ कि सब इंतजार करते हैं. प्रोफेसर के त्रिपाठी, प्लीज.
शुक्रिया, इतना बढ़िया, इतना उम्दा शेयर किया. I was thinking that probably Dr. Ajay would speak first and block the podium with his voice and presentation. And then I'll come to some small thing which is left over. One of the reasons is that ever since medical science started following a concept of treatment, started with priests. And priests used to give the healing touch and preserve the organ. That's most one of the physiological way to preserve and replace. ये भूल गया शेयर कहने में, और ये चेयरपर्सन को बुलाना भूल गए.
सर, ये आपकी ऑरा का असर है. मैं आपको देख के मंत्रमुग्ध हो गया और मेरी जुबान बंद हो गई. मैं बुलाना चाहूंगा डॉक्टर केडी द्विवेदी एंड डॉक्टर राजेश खरे.
It's not necessary, he's a great teacher, he's a great orator, and he's a great man. And you must enjoy, or you will love to enjoy his lecture on a very important topic of beta cell preservation, definitely with so many shades and styles, which is credited to him.
फिराक साहब एक शेर कहते हैं, फिराक साहब बड़े के शहर से गोरखपुर कहते हैं, और अगर मैं यहाँ हूँ और फिराक साहब को याद न करूँ तो बड़ी गुस्ताखी होगी. और कहते थे वो मुखातिब हैं और करीब भी हैं, उनको देखूँ तो उनसे बात करूँ. And as I was beginning, I said that whatever is left after devastation, after destruction, you have to start the story from there. और मैं फिर बिस्मिल्लाह करता हूँ. उनसे कहते थे कि इसी खड़हर में कहीं कुछ दिए टूटे होंगे, उन्हीं दियों को जलाओ बड़ी उदास है रात, गजल के साज उठाओ बड़ी उदास है रात, नवाए मीर सुनाओ बड़ी उदास है रात. ये खड़हर और दियों किसके बात की? Whatever is left, try to preserve it. We have destroyed the nature, we have destroyed the ocean, we have destroyed the tree, they have destroyed the environment. And the concept of treatment is now shifting, the paradigm is shifting towards sustaining whatever is left to make the human being and the spirit as well quality of life. Whether it is cancer therapy, now we are going back to purine and pyrimidine bases and we are looking at each and every nucleotides and looking at the various constituents of the folic and folinic acid and trying to look at the amino acid sequences to preserve the cell integrity, whether it is the hormone replacement therapy, whether it is the insulin, or whether it is to preserve the endothelial function, the cardiac myocyte, the neuronal cell, and implement the beta cell. And so I now go back to this is not a presidential oration, and as per RSSDI rule and regulation, chapters, state chapters are supposed to have chairman and not the president. So this is going to be a formal presentation by the chairman. What we have to offer and what are we missing in management of that? And somebody said very rightly, it's worth to look at the prevention of the disease, and one of the way of prevention of the disease is to preserve whatever we have, whether it is the drug, whether it is insulin, is the food or the replacement. And I will be talking of the dysfunction of beta cell and mechanism contributing to beta cell dysfunction, and some of the role of the OHAs, and ultimately GLP-1 future. We will have a better presentation on lectures by Dr. Ajay, and we'll be talking of better sequences of the scientific evidence. I'll be taking as a whole. But since this happens to be also my research topic, I will be adding few slides from my research, what we have done on some of the ligands of the apoptosis in relation to beta cell dysfunction. This is again quite well conversant slide that if we are born with fewer beta cells, people think there's a concept of what Professor Brenner talked, how many nephrons you are born with, equally to how many beta cells you are born with. And if there is obesity and the beta cell is trying to compensate, as the science said in the beginning, you may not be manifesting diabetes, but beta cells are under pressure and they are trying to compensate. And as long as they are trying to compensate, you keep on losing them every fraction. So there could be, because of the fewer beta cells, there could be insufficient insulin. And to compensate, there could be hypertrophy. There could be excessive glucagon. In this glucagon would be working at the time when you don't have food, start mobilizing your already depot from the liver to increase the glucose for the physiological purpose. But in diabetes, this becomes erratic. And in spite of the fact that you have a less number of beta cell, poor functioning beta cell, glucagon tries to compensate, it further adds to fuel. So we have 5 stages of evolving beta cell dysfunction. This would start from stage 0 from the bottom and would become the normal. Okay. Then stage 2 there could be adaptation, and this adaptation is in the form of impaired glucose tolerance. And most of the patients do come at this stage. This is the high time when prevention could be started. Dr. Mishra and Van Mishra, the Chote Mishra used to call it with love. There are the bigger Mishra, Dr. Mukul Mishra is here, and then the Chote Mishra. And Henry is the special. This is the time when you become cautious of preserving the beta cell. When they are under adaptation, you can use a drug, you can use lifestyle modification. Stage 3, they compensate, they decompensate, and there could be transient beta cell mass loss. There are now mathematical way to assess how much beta cell function is left and how much beta cell exactly you have. But these are the only mathematical predictions. We have done this work on it. Then there could be decompensation, ultimately reduction of the beta cell, and you can go into ketosis and severe reduction. This is losses earlier and better than expected, and by the time somebody detects you to have it, impaired glucose tolerance, you could be losing almost 60 to 40% beta. And this is important when you talk of the preserving beta cells. And one of the reasons to start early insulin, Ajay is one of the very strong protagonist of it. Very important reason to start In glucotoxicity, when you see first time patient with a very high blood sugar insulin, irrespective whether it is type 2 or type 1, is to create a good legacy by giving insulin in place of the function. Insulin is also a very strong mitogenic factor, so it initiates cell replication, duplication, and because of the mitosis, you get good return of beta cells apart from ligands which are there and have become erratic. This slide has already been shown previously, and they continue to deteriorate regarding the whether whatever intervention you get. This raises a philosophy. Some of us still believe that OHAs like sulfonylurea further deteriorate. It's not true because sulfonylurea are there for some good purpose. But these patients are otherwise also losing beta cell mass. By the time you detected them to be diabetic and you started them on oral hypoglycemic drug, put with sulfonylurea, very cheap sulfonylurea. Dr. Mani from Apollo Chennai is still he has taken a big task of reducing CKD and those patients who detect diabetes and cannot afford any other medicine, cannot afford even metformin sometime, he prescribes glycosamine and believes that lowering the sugar at that temperature to reduce the incidence of chronic kidney disease. This has become a celebrity argument in international. This is because of the continuous decrease in beta cell functions, decrease in glycemia, and if you look at the sensitivity model, NOGT in 188 patients, this is the lean IGT, OB, NGT, IGT, and type 2. And as it comes over type 2, then there is a deterioration progressively. This also reflects in fasting plasma glucose. And what are the mechanisms of beta cell death in type 2 diabetes? How does it die? And these are the important information. This could be the fast ligand, this is soluble ligand. There could be ATP sensitive potassium channel. Here, this sulfonylurea have come into picture now because of the two receptors, SQR1 receptor, SQR2 receptor. And these receptors are primarily there where the sulfonylurea molecules sit and ultimately close the channel. This is also important in ischemic preconditioning of the coronary arteries. And if you keep on hammering this potassium, then they may be the worst at the time of coronary insult. And that's the reason why this sulfonylurea is emphasized. This is insulin receptor substrate. There's the oxidative stress, and people are now thinking, and people must be looking some of the newer literature and some of the food replacement. If you use good amount of antioxidant, natural antioxidant, not the trade antioxidant, not the drug, not certainly the medicine, but the natural antioxidant being used, this will decrease the oxidative stress. Nuclear factor B and